Doggo, doggo, pet, pet, pet. Aw, he does a little bow. It's another day of Terranigma, and you know what that means. Yeah, okay. Actually, I think I want this music while I talk. Before I get into things, there's a little bit of bookkeeping for the start of this stream. I know, normally I don't do this with Super Nintendo. I've had, what, like a couple things when I look something up in Donkey Kong Country, but otherwise, like, normally bookkeeping is for my variety streams. But when I was doing my editing, I got to the part where I looked up Hedin, because I was like, I remember I looked this guy up before because of Terranigma. I'm like, oh, that's who it is. And, you know, and it turned out that is a reference to Sven Hedin, Swedish, you know, geographer, topographer, explorer, just, you know, and sort of all-around explorer-y type of guy. And I was like, oh, yeah, right, I remember I'd looked him up. And I was like, well, and, you know, I looked him up so I could tell you, because, like, maybe you haven't heard of Sven Hedin either. And I thought, like, oh, you know, but, you know, there's other things that are, like, there's other places, you know, where there's references to things, and I'll try and point them out. And I thought, okay, you know what, I'm gonna make a list. So as I go through this game, I can point out stuff that is either not named the same, or it's maybe named the same, and I thought, but, you know, like, I know who, like, I already mentioned Alexander Graham Bell. You see him. But maybe you don't know who that is, so I figure I'll point out these, like, key people that, you know, reference real-life people, if they're either, you know, have a short name or a different name. So the things we've already passed that I want to go over. Some of them I've already mentioned. And some of them, you know, I'm not going to mention things that have the exact same names, like the Amazon rainforest. I don't need to make this. The Amazon is a reference to the Amazon. Like, the Gobi Desert is a reference to the Gobi Desert. Because, like, yeah, it has the same name and it's in the same geographical spot. Like, you could just look that up on Google. So, like, the Amazon, the Gobi, the Indus River, the city of Lhasa, which is the capital of Tibet. Like, those are all in the spots they should be. They have the same real-life names. There's nothing different about them. So I don't need to mention stuff like that going forward. All right, we're settled. I'm not going to. So the stuff that has different names or is a reference to something that you can't just, like, put this in Google and find out the answer. Some of them I've already talked about. Just to remind you, those would be Grecliff is the Rocky Mountains, which I mentioned already. Eklamata are the Himalayas. I didn't say, like, these are the Himalayas, but at some point in the dungeon, I was like, take a, you know, stop to look at the Himalayas. So there you go. That's Eklamata. And I mentioned, not to a real-life reference, but Turbo the dog, obviously a reference to Soul Blazer's Turbo, which then was referenced in Illusion of Gaia with a dog named Turbo, but okay, there you go. So, the places that I have not filled you in on, either because I didn't think to mention it, even though I already knew it, or some things I didn't even know until I looked this stuff up. So, like, hey, we both learned something new today. 1, Sanctuary. The bird paradise is where the Grand Canyon is. Zoo, the dungeon we did for Safarium, that would be the Congo Basin. Safarium itself is the Jaw Faunal Reserve. I had not heard of that before. Right? I don't, you know, I hope I'm, the DJA is, I don't know how you pronounce it. Jaw, Dija, however you pronounce it, it's the Faunal Reserve. Canyon, specifically, that's the little place we rescued Liam the lion cub on his, you know, his growing up to be a king journey. That would be a reference to Fish River Canyon. And finally, the other thing I didn't really know, Luran, or Luran, however you pronounce that, you know, the city we just came from, the city of mirages, where Malin was, you know, causing a bunch of, you know, the zombies to look like normal people. She was living in delusion, all that stuff. It's apparently a actual, I mean, it's not necessarily an actual place, but it is an actual mythology place. Like, the same way, like, you know, we might talk about, like, the lost city of Atlantis or something like that. Luran, I guess, is a lost city, also called Lulan, with an L instead of an R. In at least Chinese history, I think Japanese mythology too. So just sort of like an East Asian, you know, it's not Atlantis in that, you know, it's not in the water or sunk anything, but it's another, like, lost city myth. And I guess is especially made famous by, like, there's a painting of something. It's like, someone did, like, here's a painting from, like, the lost city of Lulan, and So that's what Luron is a reference to, and I did not know that, so I learned something, maybe you learned something, and now going forward, I'm not gonna spend, 5 minutes talking about this in the future. Just as we get to places like, oh, here's this place, it's a reference to this. And then if you know, great, and you're like, okay, I just wasted 10 seconds listening to that, and if you didn't, you learned something, we can all agree that's good. So, where we were, the nomads. We have to learn how to cross the desert. Which one of you do I talk to? Ah, you. What did you say? A message from Mayhu? Any acquaintance of the fine man cannot be turned away without help. You wish to cross the lost desert? Remember these words carefully. Walk west until 3 boulders we call triangle stones. Turning south, seek boulders arranged as a serpentine dragon. Head northwest. Turn north when you come across dragon skulls. The exit is near a giant skull. Go exactly as I said, and you will get through the desert. Okay. Can you write that down? No. Oh, is it part of your culture? Like, you can't write? No, we just don't like you that much. Get out of here. Okay. The Gobi. Yeah, this is where the Gobi Desert is. It's called the Gobi. You could just look that up. Taklama. All right. West until something. The triangle stones, right? Yep. Okay, south until the serpentine stones. Okay. Northwest until skulls? Dragon skull? Something like that? The problem is... I guess I go like that. No, okay, I messed that up. It's hard... What I was going to say, the problem is, and then it kicked me out, yeah. It's hard to tell... I guess I can't run. But with... If I stop moving, you see this constant east-southeast blowing wind. It makes it really hard to tell if you're running at a diagonal, if you're running the correct one. So okay, yeah, I think I was heading more west than I was north when I was trying to run. We'll just take it slow. We're just crossing the desert. No need to rush it. If this doesn't work, I guess I'm going back for more instructions. Okay, there's that. The dragon skulls. And then he said, what, north? And the exit's by a giant skull? There's the giant skull. Hey! And we crossed. I'm sorry it's hard for you to watch in general. I don't have a problem watching the thing itself. It's just, it's the overlay makes it hard to tell what I'm actually doing. All right, go through the Balkans. Now we end up in Europe. To our next destination, Loire. Here's the one problem. I don't know when to talk about. Oh. Look, sis, it's white wind. No, it's not. Excuse me? It's not white wind. I'm sorry, my brother made a silly mistake. White Wind is a thief, but he's not an evil person. He gives the poor like us the money he stole from the rich. Robin Hood, except French. I heard that White Wind was captured at the castle. I'm so worried. Normally I'd be like, okay, I'm here in a new town. I can tell you the reference stuff. We do more with Loire later, but... I guess So Loire is clearly supposed to be Paris, except the thing, which, I knew. The thing I learned is it's more actually in the region of Chambord than it is Paris. But as you'll see later in the game, it's the central hub of government and fashion and wine. So it's clearly supposed to be Paris. But now you know that it's actually closer to Chambord. Yeah, I have those. Silver pike. Ooh. Effective against wolves. Ringmail. Okay, well, I need some better armor. From last time, we learned that. Sure, silver pike, why not? Yeah, we have not had armor since Acclimata. We need some better armor. The weapon, I'm we have the bronze pike. Do we really need the silver one? But Oh, thank goodness, magic. Yes, I need you. Hi. Oh, right, there's fortune tellers. I forget. We haven't seen you since our first initial village. All is in the stars. Let me read your fortune. Beware of dogs. A whistle for luck. What you seek is in the woods. Well, it's a good thing then I have this thing for getting wolves. Hello. Buy some flowers? I can't go home until I sell all these flowers. Make even a girl who doesn't talk or a penguin happy with flowers. Just 5 gems. Okay. Alright, I'll buy one. Pretty flower. Thanks. There's so much left. I can't go home yet. How about another? Sure. Thanks. But I've so much left. How about another one? I'm buying 3 just because, as she said, like, make a person who can't talk or a penguin, you know, like, 1 flower. That's all you're buying, cheese. I bought 3. What do you want, lady? But she mentioned 2, and I don't exactly remember how many you need, so I'm buying an extra one, too. Now we're set. We got some flowers. Hooray for us. Okay. Whoa. Houses. Hi. I'm gonna heckle Lush Louie when he comes out. But that's not a very nice thing to do. On the other hand, it's also not a nice thing to keep your house a mess with wine bottles. If you're as hard up as me, you deserve a drink or 2. Follow? Nope. I don't. You're in a video game, my dude. Just, like, get a weapon and stab a wolf, and now you got some money. Old fish. Okay, there's back to that. Okay, there's that. There's the fortune teller. Alright, scooting over next. Who do we have here? Okay, I guess you're seeing all the people. So, I was gonna wait for Loire until, because you have to do some story stuff and then you come back to do things with Loire. So I mentioned the thing about Paris and Chambord. Louis is, as you will see later, spoiler alert, this guy and another dude run against each other in an election. Louis is the one that's all like stagnates the place, and Jean is the one that grows it. And so in that case, like, Louis might be a reference to King Louis, you know, French Revolution. Well, I mean, that's Louis the 16th specifically, but, you know, just the general King Louis being the old French versus the new. It's not as clear a connection as Matisse the painter is a reference to Matisse the painter. You know, spelled differently, but... Hi, did you come to buy one of my paintings? I did. Oh, no, that's not what I... Yeah, we can't do any of this stuff yet until we do the next story thing. That's why I wasn't gonna talk about all the stuff here, but now, like, we're meeting everyone, so, like... It makes sense to mention it now. Hi, you. Speaking of, I'm Kynes. I'm an economist, and I forecast the growth of towns. This guy, Kynes, is a reference to John Maynard Keynes. But it's K-E-Y-E-N, yes. This town's economy is stunted by the king's rigid rule. There's no hope for growth without a major change in policies. Its economic growth index is 0%. So yeah, Kynes, wink. You'll see him in all the different towns because one of the things that's great about this game is you build up towns. It's not just like you're the hero, you go, you beat a dungeon, and now the town gets better. Is you have to, like, do things to help the town grow, like get trade between places, or, you know, get, you know, things like Matisse's painting. Like, we'll get a painting and we'll bring it to somewhere else and sell it to them, and so then this place is more well known. Things like that. Welcome to Bounty's Inn. Shove, shove. We need to get our guests some wine. We've also got exotic dancing and music for you. Wait, sir, I just wanted to know what this building... Hello? This service is one of the most expensive here. In total, it's... we count the zeros. I think that's... It's hard to tell without... 1 million, okay. I couldn't tell if it was 1 or 10 million. I'm not paying that. Get lost. You're out of your mind. Hey, pal, you pulling my leg? Our pricing is very clear. If you can't pay, you can pay it off at the labor camp. Hold it. Yeah. I just listened in, Bounty, keeping your greedy hands dirty again. Don't you recall my warning, clean up your act or pay with your life? No, not true. Just one of our special services. It's a new promotion to scare the guests that provides services for free. Interesting. I will advertise this promotion to the village folk. Lady Fida, please do. Thank you. Sorry about that. Not everyone here is that low. Don't think badly of us. Odd. I get this feeling I've met you before. If you plan to become the groom, you'll see the princess tomorrow. You're just like, what just happened? I walked into this building, nearly got scammed into paying 1 million gil. Then this awesome lady knight comes in and like threatens the dude and walks off and like, but you seem familiar. Also, you can meet the princess tomorrow. And you're just like, I just came in this door. What's going on? It stays you went for free. Ugh, sure don't want to lose my head to Lady Fida. That lady with the sword? She's Lady Fida, who guards the princess. A lady, but a fantastic swordsman. She's my heroine. And then here's the real inn behind the little restaurant guy. Dog! Let's go pet the dog. Doggo, doggo, pet, pet, pet. Aw. He does a little bow. And then goes back to sitting regally. I don't do stuff like that because I want to, you know. Boss says I have to, so I do. Don't think it'd be as evil, honey. I make medicine. My sleeping potion is popular among insomniacs. I came to Mush Woods looking for ingredients, but found no mushroom. Well, that seems like a weird name for the woods, then. This season, you would expect even one to be growing. And a goldfish? Who travels with a goldfish? I think that's just part of the, like, this is just part of the room. That's not the guest goldfish. That's your in-house goldfish. You know, it's one of their advertising things, like, Color TV, free hot tub, goldfish. Like, wait, but color TV and hot tubs haven't been invented yet unless you're over in Neo-Tokyo. Well, we still have the goldfish. Boy, how would you like a freshly baked croissant? Yes! Also, my character says yes. I'll take one. Here you go. Yum, 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 yum. Some appetite, you make me proud. What a filthy wretch. You don't mean to marry the princess, do you? Save your time. A wretch like you will only be humiliated. White Wind the thief captured while breaking into castle. Is it extra for the goldfish? It's an extra $500,000 for the exotic fish tank. Well, I mean, if Bounty had anything to say with it, yes. The regular innkeeper, no. Girl search or not, I wish they'd cut back on the festivities. We find it hard enough just getting by day to day. Between you and me, the king here is a total tyrant. Why that king would make this proclamation is beyond me. Oh, what's this proclamation? If you can make the princess speak, you shall be wedded to her. Apply at the castle if you feel capable. King Henry XIII. Where is this? It's scary. Mommy, help me. Everyone that goes to Norfest Forest comes out badly disturbed. Maybe the rumors of ghosts really are true. Norfest Forest? It's the forest north of here. You're not going here, are you? Don't go. I heard horrible ghosts appear in the forest. He came back like that from Norfest Forest. Ooh, spooky. Whoop, that's Matisse. Wait, can we pet his cat? Matisse, can I pet your cat? Cat is unamused by Ark. Like, hi, I'm the hero of the world. And it's like, hi, I'm a cat. That means the same thing. Fair enough. Little doggy. Okay. Hello.
My grandma used to be a servant to the queen a long time ago. She told us about the queen, but lately her stories are all mixed up.
You wish to speak to Mother? She may be hard to understand. Let me at her.
It's a terrible thing he did. No pity, no mercy, such a tragedy. It's better this way. Better to forget for continuing on.
Her stories are all mixed up, but she's actually talking that shut up, we hear the king's a tyrant. She's just talking about all the horrible things at the castle. Shut up, Ark. Jean. So here's the guy that runs against Louis. From what I can tell, he's like, okay, Matisse the painter is obviously Matisse the painter. Louis being one of the people running for candidate, like, yes, it's after you dispose of this tyrant king. Spoilers, a Super Nintendo game with a tyrant king and you get rid of him. I'm sorry, I ruined the game for you. And so yeah, like, Louis is kind of like being a reference to like Louis the 16th, like all the old like French line and like the French Revolution and stuff. And Jean, whoops, I guess I talked to him by accident. One day there will come a time when the masses rule the country. For that coming age, I studied night and day. So yeah, Jean is the opponent and the one that you want to vote for because he'll help the town grow. You know, Matisse is Matisse. Very clear reference. You know, Hedin is Sven Hedin. Very clear reference. Louis being like King Louis and all that stuff is like, maybe. As far as I can tell, Jean does not represent anybody in particular. The closest that I could get is thinking maybe he's supposed to be Jean-Jacques Rousseau, who was mainly so Rousseau was like, you know, philosopher, not a politician, which is why the connection is like, but he did do like he was like influential in the French Revolution writing, or, like, you know, his writing was sort of influential in the French Revolution, like in his philosophy stuff. So like, maybe this guy's supposed to be a reference to Jean-Jacques Rousseau, but I think more likely he's just a guy named Jean. His name's Jean. And whose name is way too close to the Sea Explorer. Well, you know, you see the town of well, what is it? Beggars in trade call at the back door. Well, aren't you lovely?
Madame is hysterical and nasty, but she pays well. I put up with her.
Does anyone want to? No. How about you? No. There we go.
We get to weave and embroider magnificent clothes, but we feel empty. I want to make clothes not for a small number of the rich, but clothes everyone can enjoy wearing. Madame Papillo designs clothing for the king and princess herself, is what she claims, but really her seamstresses did all the work. Merrily, the girl embroidering diagonally in front, she's brilliant. I don't think the clothes she makes will lose to Madame Papillo's clothes. That's another one I could not find any specific person. Like, I'm not big into like the fashion scene, so I mean, I guess, you know, if anyone on Twitch happens to know, go ahead and tell me in the chat. But you know, here's a task for you people on YouTube who watch this later in the future. If you know anything about French fashion, do you know anyone that Madame Papillo or Merrily would reference? Because so far as I can tell, this is just straight up like the French being fashionable, and it's not a reference to any one person in particular. But since like everyone else is a reference, what you're learning about this fake France is everything's a competition. I mean, it's medieval France. It's basically, it's medieval times. Things are bad. We gotta make it better. I have plenty of drinks, but the king takes it all. I want to make drinks everyone can enjoy. I can't do that now. Hey, don't worry. We already spoiled we're gonna take down the king. And then we get to start growing our first city. Right. I think that's everything. Yeah, this is the, like, if you can make the princess talk, you'll be wedded to her. And, like, what does the princess say about that? It's like, I'm king of old France. I don't care what the princess says. What do the townspeople say about this? I'm the king of old France. I don't care what townspeople say. All right. Let's go to the castle. Oh, yeah, and if you try and go this way now, you can't. Yeah. Let's go through the toll gate. Where do you think you're going? You can't pass without a permit. Just standard video game stuff. Like, I'm gonna explore further, and they're like, no. To the castle. Did you see the king's notice? Interviews start tomorrow. Okay, fine. Hello. What is it? You staying? Use the room over there. If you make a racket at night, out you go. Okay, I'm not gonna make a racket. There's a dog in the next... Oh, wait, this is Ark. The known troublemaker. You're not even from our world, really, but we even know about your reputation. Okay. I was just a protagonist trapped in a small town. I had to make my own fun until my adventure started. Alright, off we go. Hi, I'm the hero of the world. And it's like, hi, I'm a cat. That means the same thing. Fair enough.